Please forgive me, but we're going to go ahead and get started. Okay. Now, the individual that is with us this evening is one of our top performers with our company, and he has had a great deal of success over the many years that he's been in the industry, and he has already made his millions. He has built businesses throughout several states as well as over 30 countries, so I'm sure he can teach us a little something, something. It's only I've known this gentleman only for a short period of time. However, it is certainly a pleasure getting to know him, and I am very, very impressed with his resume. But more importantly, I am very impressed also with him on a personal level as well. After getting to know him and many others in this organization from around the U.S., I have learned that he is such a funny and a fun person to be connected to. After just a few minutes of talking business with him, you will quickly realize how factual he is and how documented he is. Although money for him, that's no longer an issue in his life, but helping people to attain great success in their lives and in their business, that is now his driving force. So now, I would like to introduce to some, and I would like to present to others Mr. Harry Flynn. Mr. Flynn, are you there, sir?
Yes, I am. My
Okay, take it
goodness.
away.
Oh, my goodness. Thank you oh so much, Mrs. Motley. I tell you, it's amazing to hear those incredible words spoken about myself. Wow. You know what? You said it just like I wrote it. Listen, the check is in the mail. Look for it very very soon. You did a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful introduction. I tell you, I can now speak for the world and tell everyone I know how it feels to be a waffle smothered with syrup. I do appreciate that. Hey, listen, I've been given an honor tonight, and thank you so much, Mrs. Motley, for that incredible introduction. Truly and meaningfully, I mean that. But I want you to know, I am really just blessed. That's it, just blessed. And I've been given tonight the honor and the privilege, indeed the pleasure, by our team's leadership to speak about something tonight for our industry that is massively important. In fact, I will tell you, I found it to be the most powerful tool or technique in the entire world of our industry, be it affiliate marketing or network marketing or multi level marketing, whatever you prefer to refer to it as. But this one topic, something known as edification, it is so dear and special to me. I remember so many years ago, after being involved in so many different types of companies within this industry, when I finally was able to grasp and someone set me down in a very small room in a semicircular of chairs. And this gentleman drove home the point. It actually pierced our hearts when he helped us to understand edification. Wow. I remember it like it was yesterday, although it was 20 years ago. And it turned my business, my personal business, completely around. I have been struggling for probably a good 4 to 5 months. And when I learned this concept of edification, my business instantly went literally to the top. I went on to make my first $1 million in that industry. And I tell you, in that company. And things have never been the same since. I was blessed to then be able to travel the world. And everywhere I went, I found and I noticed that everyone used this same language wherever I went. It was called edification. And so, if I have your undivided attention, I promise to not waste it. I promise to give it value. If you promise to pay attention, I promise, out of my God given heart, to deliver the goods to you. So I ask you, and I trust you, please lean forward and pay attention. For I'm going to talk to you about edification, the power of it, what it means, and how it can affect positively your business. So please have a listen. Edification. This is the one most important piece of a three-way call. Unlike anything you've ever known before, this is the language that you use to introduce the third party expert who will explain the business to your prospect. Now, the reason for this step I'm about to share with you. But see, I have been struggling. No matter what I had been saying before I learned this concept, it just wasn't, it, you know what? It just wasn't doing to people what was done to me. And I began to wonder, what is wrong with me? What am I doing wrong? What am I saying wrong? How come they're not getting it like I got it? Why are they not losing sleep like I had lost sleep? I was brought into the business through edification. And when I was trying to build my business, I wasn't understanding. I did not know about edification. Here's the reason edification is so powerful. Please, I beg you, please. I cannot see you right now. I can't even hear you right now. So I have to trust you that I have your attention. What you're looking at right now is what's known as the edification triangle. The edification triangle. This is what put me to the edge of my seat. Might it do that for you? You see, this expert explained to us, or this mentor at this time, taught me that between myself and my friend or my prospect, there existed trust. We knew each other for years. We go way back. Some of the folks I was talking to, we went to school in New York together, went to NYU together. We worked together at various jobs I had in the corporate structure. A few of them worked with me for Calvin Klein, the designer in New York. But they weren't getting it. They trusted me. You know, we did a lot of things together. They trusted me, but they weren't seeing the business. What I had to learn was that I had to learn to edify over here. I had to edify or build up an expert, a third party, someone that my friend and prospect did not know. But because they trusted me, they were accepting of everything I said about this third party expert. What I basically did in that process, so I learned, was I gave this expert power. I gave them the influence. I gave them the power to influence my prospect or my friend to get in the business. You see, there was trust between myself and my friend. When I edified the expert, I took myself out of the picture. That's the key. I took myself out of the picture. I gave the power and the influence to a third party expert. Then my friend or prospect had the respect for the delivery of the information. It was magical. I could not believe it because I found that this expert was saying the same things that I was saying previously to different friends and prospects. This expert was saying the exact same things. But my friend and prospect this time was accepting of the information because he respected the information. Now, here's why this is so magical. Pay attention. You see, in this business or this industry, your friends or your prospects, they trust you. They know you. They remember when you were going to school and you know you were running around with the lampshade over your head acting foolish. See, they may know that eventually you will pay them back that $50 that they lent you a year ago. So that's in the back of their minds. They can't hear you talking about a business because they still think about the $50 that you owe them from a year ago. They can't hear you talking about business. You see, they may not respect your business sense, or at least have not developed a level of respect of you as an expert in the business because you are new. So, to allow them to respect the information, you need to edify the expert so that they can have respect for his or her delivery of the information. This is the edification triangle. Now, there's a lot of little secrets to the process, and I've been given the privilege and the honor to go through these details with you this evening. You see, edification is a big word that just means to speak well of someone. And by doing so, that gives them, as I explained a moment ago, the credibility to put someone in business for you. You talk about their past, their current, and the future. It's very, very magical. You see, even years later, I find that I constantly come across people in this business, even in this company. People profess to know edification. They think they understand edification. Are you one? Do you think you understand edification? Do you? Can you explain it? I'll bet you can. Because the concept is relatively simple. So I don't doubt that you can sit down because you've seen this before. You can explain it. But do you really understand it? That's the question. That's the rub. Do you understand it? Do you understand it unconsciously? Do you understand it unconsciously? Let's see. Let's break it down like a fraction. Let's really consider this for a moment, this edification thing here. Check this out. I'm going to tell you a story. The story of two waiters. Give you a scenario. Hang with me for a second here. They say, facts tell, but stories sell. Listen to this story. See if you can relate. You are a buddy of mine, and one of the things you've always wanted to do, your lifelong dream, was to open a five-star restaurant. You wanted your own five-star restaurant. It's been a lifelong dream of yours. And you and I hadn't seen each other for a few years. We're friends. We go way back. And we're having dinner at a nice restaurant. You came by to visit me in town. And there we are, sitting there having dinner, talking about old times, laughing and joking, having just a good old fashioned time. And I look over in the corner and I say, "Hey, Tony, you still have a dream of owning a restaurant?" And you say, "Yeah," and I can see your eyes light up. And I says, "Wow, well, aren't you in luck?" I say, "Look, you see those two guys over there in the corner with the white jackets on?" And you look over there and you say, "Oh yeah, those two waiters over there?" And I say, "Those aren't two waiters. The one on the left is a waiter, but the one on the right, Tony, he owns this restaurant. As a matter of fact, he owns a chain of these restaurants, and the word is he's just coming back from Japan, where he just opened up three more of these restaurants over in Japan. Oh no, he's no waiter. He is the mover and the shaker of restaurants of this caliber." Now, I just edified what Tony thought was a waiter. I just edified him as the owner of this restaurant and many like it all around the world. He just came back from Japan. Now imagine Tony, you, my buddy. who've always wanted to have a world class restaurant. You now look at what you thought was a waiter, you now hold him in high esteem. So, what happens now when he comes over to say hello to us at our table, to see how things are going? And he says, "Good evening. How are things going with you guys? Are you comfortable? Are you enjoying your meal?" Tony, you're going to look at him now in a different light. See, you're not going to look at him as a waiter as you once did. Now, you're going to have high respect for him. You're going to look directly in his eyes. You may stop eating. Your whole body language will change now. You sit up and you look at him. And every word that comes out of his mouth, you're listening to it. You're practically now, according to your body language, you're in awe of him. And so I casually mentioned to this owner of the restaurant, "Sir, everything is going well. It's a beautiful restaurant you have here. You know, as a matter of fact, my friend Tony here, he's always dreamed of having a restaurant of this caliber. This is such a wonderful establishment." And this gentleman looks at Tony, looks at yourself, and he says, "Really? Interesting. You know, perhaps we can sit down one day and we talk. I'd love to share some ideas with you about how you can possibly have a restaurant of this caliber one day at your location. You know, I'm going to be here until tomorrow morning. If you like, perhaps after you guys finish dinner, we could sit down over in my office in the back here for 30 minutes and you can tell me about some of the things you've been dreaming about." Wow. Imagine Tony's now response. Whatever happened to the things that Tony had to do when we left this restaurant? All of a sudden, he canceled them. Things changed because he has an opportunity now to sit down with a guru and get one-on-one instruction on how he can possibly have a restaurant like this that he's always dreamed of. You see, this gentleman was edified, and it changed how people respond to him. That's the two waiters scenario with edification. I want you to think about that. Now let's look at our business, a scenario. Someone was looking at our presentation and it makes sense and they really want to do it. Wow, a $54 one time out of pocket for a chance to make millions, at the very least, hundreds of thousands of dollars. See? They want to do it. But this is your friend. They can't see the details through you. You can't explain to them how to make hundreds of thousands and millions of dollars because you're their friend and you still owe them $100 from a year ago. You cannot have that conversation with them. You have to take yourself out of the picture so that they can see the information, so that they can have respect for the information. You have to immediately remove yourself from that picture in your friends or prospects' mind. No, what you have to do is immediately stop talking about you. You cannot show them anything. You cannot explain anything to them because they're your peers. So you have to shift and say, "Hey, listen, Bob, I wish I could break it down for you, but I just cannot do it justice. I've only been in for a little while, but I've been in contact with a gentleman that knows all of the facts about how to build this business. This gentleman does not have money as an issue in his life, and he has decided to give me some attention to help me get my business off the ground. And the only thing he asked me to do was to introduce him to some of the sharpest people I know. Would you like to meet this gentleman? And maybe, can't promise you anything, but what if he can help you like he's helping me? I took myself out of the picture. That's a good business scenario for where we are. You see, to not edify is to de edify, which is the biggest no no in this industry. Too many of us on our team are not edifying. So, if you don't mind, as my good business partner, Ms. Kati and Kim says, I will repeat that. To not edify is to de edify, which is the biggest no no in this industry. Here's some signs of de edification, because you can tell whether or not you or someone was properly edified. Here are some signs that are very obvious. Pay attention. The prospect is not attentive. Hint, hint, clue, clue. Edification was not done. The prospect corrects the expert. Hint, hint, clue, clue. Edification was not done. The prospect cuts off the expert. Hint, hint, clue, clue. Edification was not done. Don't apologize and say things like, hey, I don't mean to cut you off, but no. Don't cut off the expert for any reason whatsoever. Shh. Be quiet. Let the expert talk. The prospect rushes the expert. Hint, hint, clue, clue. Edification was not done. Keep paying attention. The prospect asks for proof from the expert. Hint, hint, clue, clue. Edification was not done. The prospect has argumentative tone with the expert. Hint, hint, clue, clue. Edification was not done. The prospect shows lack of respect to the expert. Hint, hint, clue, clue. Edification was not done. All of these things are signs that, oh boy, if I'm the expert, I can tell you I don't have any influence with this person, with your prospect, with your friend. I can't help him. I can't help you because I was not properly edified. When I am properly edified, go back to Tony in the restaurant. When that gentleman that he thought was just a waiter, when he was properly edified, all of a sudden Tony sat up straight. He stopped eating. He maintained eye contact. He listened. And when he was invited to sit for 30 minutes with this gentleman in the back in his office, and so he can explain some of his dreams of owning a restaurant, everything else was immediately put on hold. That's what he was going to do. Prospect puts him or her above the expert. A definite no-no. Hint, hint, clue, clue. Edification was not done. All of these things are signs that edification was not performed properly. Here's an example of a proper edification. Pay attention. You know, the individual I'm going to put on the phone with you has over 20 years of experience in the network marketing industry. He or she is currently a top performer with our company and is leading a major expansion in this area of the country right now. You know what? I had an opportunity to tell him or her a little bit about you, and he or she agreed to speak with you, although maybe just for a moment. That's an edification example. Here's another one, because I want to be brief tonight. This is one topic. But listen to this one. The individual is a top performer with the company and has had a great deal of success. She has already built businesses throughout several states and countries. I've known this awesome lady for a time and has been very impressed with her resume. After speaking with her and many others of her organization from all over, I learned that she's a fun person to be around. Just a few minutes of talking business with her, you quickly realize how factual and documented she is. You know what? Although money is no longer the issue in her life, helping people attain success in their lives is now her driving force. Please say hello to Ms. Kati and Kim. Now, that's a very thorough, proper, effective edification. Listen and pay attention to some of the things we're saying about this individual, Ms. Kati and Kim. And you see, edification's got to be truthful. You cannot be lying because that would be unethical, and we don't do that. We want to do a proper professional edification. We want to give Ms. Kati and Kim the power and the influence. Notice I'm using the surname Ms. Kati and Kim. I'm not just saying Kati. I ain't saying things like, yo, Kati, break it down for my friend over here. No, I don't use that kind of slang and casual kind of talk. I hold Ms. Kati and Kim in high esteem in my reference to her. So please say hello to Ms. Kati and Kim. And now I'm quiet. I am done, 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 done. I'm done. Because now Ms. Kati and Kim will move that person to where I want them to be moved. Here's another example, a shorter one, more direct. Listen to this one. He is positioned to never have an issue with money ever again. You see, if the person I'm talking about is not making a lot of money yet, then I can't say that because that would be unethical. That would be lying. And that comes back to bite you. You don't want to do that. Okay? So he's in position to never have an issue with money ever again. That's the truth. He's in position to never have an issue with money ever again. He is a fun, down-to-earth person to be around, yet knows all the facts of this business. But what I like best about this gentleman is his heart. You know, in no time at all, you will feel his need to help others. Please give your undivided attention to Mr. whomever you're talking about. Now, what am I doing here since we're training on edification? There's things here that I want you to pay attention to. Number one, money. You want to mention the issue of money because you may be talking to a person that is money motivated. So their move, what captures their attention is, can I make some money? That's why you want to make mention of money. A lot of people out there are like that. Also, you might be talking to a person that is very detailed oriented. He doesn't like all the hype. They just wants the facts. Give it to me in black and white. Save all the fluff, all the excitement. Make me understand. What are the specifics? What are the details of this business opportunity? Make me understand. So if you're talking to a fact-oriented person, you want to make mention that the person you're about to introduce them to knows all the facts about this business. That captures their attention. Or you may be talking to a person that just loves having a lot of fun. That's their modus operandi. They love to travel. They love people. They always got jokes. They're always laughing. If you're talking to them or around them, they seem to be very animated. They don't sit very still. They are fun type people. They always got a party they want to go to, or coming from a party, or want to throw a barbecue or cookout. These are fun-oriented type people. So if you're talking to a person like that, well, how do you get their attention and make them give attention to this person? Well, you need to say, this is a very fun, down-to-earth kind of person, a great, fun person to be around. That captures their attention. See, there's a science, there's a psychology to edification. See, so if you really thought you understood it, do you understand why you must use certain phrases and certain words to appeal to certain parts of one's character? There's a science to edification, and we teach it here on this team. We don't leave a stone unturned on our team. You see, we go out of our way to teach everything from A to Z, word by word for word, on what to do and what not to do, and how to do and how not to do, governing your success. And lastly, what about those people that have a huge heart? They're just the opposite of the people that like a lot of money. They just love helping people. That's their modus operandi. They just want to help. They don't like being in the front. They don't like the spotlight on them. They just want to know that everybody is going to be okay and that I can help people be in a better place. That's all they care about. They care more for others than they do for themselves. They're always putting themselves out for other people. Guess what? Every one of us know people like that. And so for those types of people, you want to say something like, but what I like best about this gentleman is his heart. In no time at all, you will feel his need to help others. Because we want to appeal to that part of their character. See? So, we are addressing the money motivated people with money. We are addressing the fact oriented people, the detail oriented people with facts. And for those people that just like to have a lot of fun, travel and see the world, cruises, be around a lot of people, positive people, we use the word fun. And for those people that like to stay in the background, they don't like a lot of attention, they just have big hearts, they recycle everything. They always, they don't wear leather because they care about the animals. They always are big contributors. They don't throw away things. They give it to the Goodwill or the Salvation Army. They do a lot of community work. They spend a lot of time in servicing and helping and cooking and spending time at the church. They're always busy. They make plans to feed the hungry around Thanksgiving time. Their modus operandi is to help. So we're covering everybody. Okay, in summation, to bring this brief training tonight to a close, and I pray that you guys have gotten this edification and that you own up to it, that you apply it to yourselves, not to everybody else, but that you apply it to yourselves. What does that mean? That indeed you come to an understanding that this is the most powerful, even magical tool in our industry, where you can almost make yourself invisible. Master it. Master it unconsciously, where it becomes a natural part of your psyche, where you start to edify people without even thinking about it. You just naturally speak positively of people. You don't even have to remind yourself to do it. It becomes like blinking of the eye. It becomes an involuntary thing that you do. Make edification a habit. And so, folks, ladies and gentlemen, my friends, my business partners, at this time, I would like to say to you, I'd like to thank you, each of you, for your attention, and I hope and pray from my deepest heart that this has helped you, and that on the team, I start seeing a major increase in edification, three-way calls, and being set up properly. No more cutting off. Okay? Think about the things that I brought before your attention to show you proper edification. Take a look real quick. Okay? So with that being said, what I'm going to do is give it back to our host this evening, to the awesome, very professional Mrs. Brenda Motley, to close us out and to tell you about what's coming up on our next huge training on Saturday morning. You don't want to miss it. You want to get everyone there because we're going to break it down like a fraction. I promise you, it's going to be dropped like it was indeed hot. So, with that being said, Ms. Brenda Motley, please unmute your phone and take it back from me, please. Reclaim and speak if you would. Go right ahead.
Okay, I'm here.
Fantastic.
You have to pass me the presenter role, right?
Okay, I will do that. I will do
Oh,
that right now, and you have it.
alrighty. One moment. Okay, thank you, Mr. Flynn. You did it again. That was excellent,
Okay. Hmm.
excellent presentation on edification, something that we must always keep in the forefront of our mind because that's the most important thing of our three-way call, to make sure we use the language so that we can be able to introduce the third-party expert. So we will definitely keep that in mind. And I want to again remind everyone about our training on Saturday. We're going to go through a little bit of edification again, and we're going to go through starting off your business right, being able to know exactly what to do and without missing a beat, step by step by step by step. So be sure to get all of your team informed about Saturday's training at 11 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. And we want to thank you all for being on the training tonight, and we're going to see you on Saturday morning. Have a great evening, everyone. Good night.